It Will Never End. Wow. Right away, the first second that the scene came up, the first scene, I could tell it was really great production value here. Great location, beautiful scenery, beautiful lighting, especially with the horse. There was one moment just with the horse and the lighting. I just thought it was beautiful. And the guy, too. The guy was, I think, on the horse at that point, around 4 minutes in. To me, this was a lot about age and beauty from the female perspective, and from the male perspective, I guess it was about security and, fighting for what you desire in life, at, at what cost, so to speak. Just nice casting as well. I thought the acting was great, really good music. Great directing and editing, good script. I just really want to see more of these characters, actually. I thought this could make a really great series, and I felt like I was just dropped into the middle of it when it came up. Like I should have been, there was, like they started it in the middle of something. It didn't feel like the beginning. It felt like I was already in the middle of something, which I liked, actually. Normally that would bother me, but I really liked that in this. And I wanted to see more. I don't know if this is a series or a feature film, but I would love to see it as a series. I just thought it was really well done. So good job. I know this is going to do great for you guys.
Will Never End. It Will Never End is a nice western kind of film. I mean, we're not in the far west, of course, but we're still in the 19th century, and the way the film is structured is a kind of European Western in Europe, let's say. I love the action, and I think it's a great period piece, very well done, perfect costume, perfect acting, and there was a very good screenplay. And we get to the end. I think the end is the best part. Is a is an important twist when she is killed. Um, but at the same time, I think that the meaning of the title as well, it will never end, and also when the two main characters talk in the beginning, they singing, and then he sings again in the end, it will never end. We see this nice final shot with him carrying the love of his life, now dead, in his arms. We got this beautiful final shot. I think it was very touching. It was a great love story, but there's also a lot of action, as we say. There's a lot of people cheating on each other. There's high treason, and then obviously there is the final scene where everyone start killing each other. I think overall is a very well done short ending, very engaging, and the final product is absolutely brilliant. It's an independent film, but it's as good as a studio film. So overall, great movie. Congratulations.
All right, excuse me, I'm sorry. I just finished watching It Will Never End, which I thought was incredibly, the production value on this piece was very, very high. I thought right from the beginning, when you see the opening scene with him in the tub and with the other woman, you really sort of get a sense of incredible quality in terms of not just cinematography, the lighting and the construct of the scene itself, but the acting was incredibly natural. It had an incredibly great sort of cadence and pace between almost all the leads that gave the piece a deceptive level of depth that I found surprising, because it didn't seem that the plot was working on that level until you really engage with it. The story sort of brings you in at a time in which events had already been going on. There's been context with his love life, with his sense of identity and his purpose, sort of the pressures of people around him. The female characters had a lot of ideas about sort of aging, beauty, and love, and I thought everybody sort of took their own turn in carrying the thematic weight of the piece, which sort of contributed to why I felt overall it really felt like sort of a feature film concept condensed into a half an hour. There are a lot of powerful moments, a lot of powerful imagery, obviously, towards the end with him carrying the body, towards the middle with the woman drowning the woman in the water. I thought there were a lot of sort of repeated thematic and stylistic motifs that really worked throughout the piece that reflected a sense of sort of intent and passion within the piece that I thought really came through, especially with the acting. So I thought it was a very well done production, a very high quality in terms of acting and cinematography in particular. And I ended up enjoying it because it had a great sense of style and a great sense of emotional depth that made the overall piece very endearing and easy to get into.
It Will Never End. Well, this was a strong story with strong actors. The actor that played Kitty was especially good. She was a conniving villain, and the part was just played so well. The English translation from the Russian language I thought was really done well. That could not have been easy. And the story was much like a Russian 19th century bandit cowboy / doomed love story. A brutal life led by the peasants in this story, and how difficult it must have been when they were always trying to get ahead and do more than just survive. You really feel for the characters. I was surprised to see in the credit roll that the story is based on a poem, so that's inspired me to go and look this up and just see how it matches up with the movie. Really well done.
This film actually captures your attention despite it being a little slow moving. The slow moving story actually helps understand more, and despite the fact that it does sometimes feel that the film will never end, which kind of goes with the title, but the slow moving story works for this particular film. It's because you know the background of the characters, you know where they're coming from, you know why they're in the situations they are. I thought this film had beautiful cinematography and just a captivating score. It kept you very intrigued to the point where you didn't want to turn away. It made the film what it is. And the acting was phenomenal. It's where you feel every movement these characters are making. You feel every emotion. But the top thing of this film really was the gorgeous cinematography. The acting and the score just make it over the top.
I really liked It Will Never End. I'm always a sucker for a good costume drama period piece type beat. So, this is right up my alley. My thing was the production design was excellent, up there with Hollywood almost, and that's not easy to pull off when you're talking horses and all of this stunts and all of that, costumes and all of this stunts. To coordinate all of that and pull that off as well as y'all did is to be commended. I really felt like I was transported back in time. So, and that's kind of the idea with a period piece like this. So really well done. Good job.
It Will Never End has like the scope, the ravishing beauty, and also the kind of penetrating violence of a great Western. And it's got themes of like family and honor and revenge and romance, all that kind of stuff, which put it in a very kind of Western arena. But also it's got like a completely different cultural perspective, so that kind of very much changes the shape of the narrative and the expectations you place on it in terms of genre. Kind of reshapes it into something interesting and unique, which I hadn't seen before, which is really cool. And, it's full of like the big mythic characters and the great, like big, powerful emotions that you kind of get in the great westerns, and they really suck you into the ritual and make you kind of want to stay longer. And it's topped off with this really, really great score. Kind of brings the sense of mythic grandeur into the world, as well as also kind of subtly and quite poignantly underscoring the right emotions at the right time, which brings everything into clear focus, makes you emotionally connect with the characters in the world and get a lot out of it. So I just think it's impressive work.